So welcome everyone. So excited to have you all here for the Lenses Masterclass. It's really excited to share this work with you, and I'm going to jump straight into it because we've got a lot to cover in the short time. So I hope you've got your pen and paper ready to make some notes. We're going to do a few processes today, and yeah, it's going to be heaps of fun. And now I know some of you have worked with me before, some of you haven't, and hello to those watching the replay. That's amazing too. So let's get stuck into it. I shall use. We are. So you can just checking you can see my screen. All good. Yes. We are here today for the lenses workshop. So let me pop that on. Welcome. So you are here because you're ready to commit to completely living that unlimited life. You're ready to take that action and do whatever it takes to step fully into your desired reality. And you're ready to learn more about lenses and how it's got this deep connection with living the life that you absolutely love and what matters most to you. So this is really a plan for your life. You're here because you're ready to create a plan for your life. And I just want you to get the most out of this experience. So I want you to truly play full out. Chuck yourself in the deep end and just fully commit to playing completely full out. I want you to just eliminate all just distractions where you can. Putting your phone away, maybe closing a door or letting other family members know that you're dedicated for the next hour and a bit. And yeah, just stay focused. Remember to park any old learnings. We sometimes like to no worries, Nikki. We've got so much knowledge and we say, okay, I already know this, but I just invite you to just park old learnings and just be open to learn something new, open to learn something in a different way, perhaps. Take loads of notes. If you have any questions at all, please use the chat box. Ask away. Well, I can, if it's relevant to the content, I'll stop and we'll take the questions as we go through the content. There'll also be opportunities to ask questions at the end as well. We won't have any major breaks because it's going to be about 90 minutes max. But if you do need to, nip to the toilet or anything, just go and we'll keep going. But it shouldn't, maybe opportunity to go to the bathroom right now if you need to. But yeah, it's about a 90-minute session. So just be aware of that. Have plenty of water near you as well, because sometimes this work can get hot and heated. So always good to have water nearby. And be coachable. Be open to be coachable. If you're really not getting something, if you learned something a different way, be open, ask questions, be open to learning it in a different way, be open to being vulnerable as well. And we're here to really move that needle and get through that stuck. So get committed, be present, and also have fun, enjoy. So today we're actually gonna cover the correct structure of lenses, what some of the most common mistakes are. I will go through the basics, the core rules of creation. If you haven't worked with me before, then this is like the 101 absolute basics, which is going to be really great to go over. And we're going to create some choices today. It's going to be a workshop style. So that's why I really want you to have your pen and paper ready, ready for going into the field. We're going to do some meditations where we're going to do some workshopping, and we're going to understand your true choices and really what that is, and what that looks like for you. So it's going to be really cool. There is the premise, what we do with lenses. So lenses is the best way to structure your life if you really want to be successful and truly live the life that you love. It's taking your big picture goals and breaking them down into actionable steps so that you always know where you're going. A person that does lenses, or in this full structure of lenses, knows where they're going and what they're going to do next. So their life is really structured, and it creates that freedom. Like when you don't have to worry about making all of these decisions every single day, and you create a little bit of plan, life gets to flow and it becomes a bit easier. So most of us do our New Year's resolutions at the start of the year, and then you never think about your goals ever again. So the lenses is really the structure to create that flow and focus that will create, the life that you love. So we're actually going to get clear on your big picture, so your big vision, your big goal, and we're actually going to create a path to get you there. Now, there are some problems here. So society has taught most of us not to really plan our life. Like, you do New Year's resolutions and you don't really visit it again, or you have everything in your head. We become complacent, and we start to take our everyday for granted. We start to every day just meshes into one, and you kind of, life starts to happen to you instead of you being in the driver's seat and having control over where your focus goes every day. Because we live every day, and we become complacent, and we take our focus, and we take our daily rituals and habits for granted. And some of us maybe are just happy just being the same as everyone else, but living in this society that is just, you want to conform, and just play it safe and do what everyone else does, do your goal setting at the start of the year, and that's it. But I know you really want more. I know you're here because you want more. So the problem with most of society is that we're actually in the problem. We're focused on the problem. We're very rarely focused on the solution. Most of our focus goes on, okay, well, what's wrong with me? Where can I improve myself? What needs fixing? How is it wrong? And yeah, we're in this society that's in this hamster wheel of life, and you're never really taking your creation seriously and into your own hands, while you're comparing yourself to others as well. So there's a real problem with this problem society, and I'm going to go into more depth about that shortly. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Amber Florence. I'm a Superconscious transformation coach. I started this entrepreneurial coaching journey about 5 years ago when I went and saw an energy healer, and for the purpose of self-love. I had everything on the external life. I had the job, a corporate job, the white picket fence, a dog, a long-term partner, and everything seemed fine, but I didn't feel like, I wasn't happy. I was crying myself to sleep, and I was miserable. So I actually found an energy healer. and learnt this incredible skill of reading into the field and working with energies to really take you, improve your life. And so that was a big shift for me. And I started with forensic healing, which is quite a deep spiritual energy modality. And most recently, in the last 2 years, really been working with the Superconscious. So it's really working with all aspects of consciousness, which I'll briefly go through today, and actually using intuition to read the field of what's there. And the lenses process, what it has created for me is pretty incredible. And it's kind of like going to the gym. You do it once and you don't see a result. So, you say, oh, I don't need to do that. That's just energy that's wasted. Oh, I don't need to do that. I'll skip the gym today, And I went through this cycle for months, not putting the lenses aside, not gonna do it. It's wasted energy. Until one day I finally pulled my my thumb out and dedicated myself to the lenses process. And honestly, it has created so much for me. As soon as I started doing my lenses every single day, my clients started coming in. All these little miracles started happening. It just small things throughout my life, but I started to feel more clarity, more flow, more momentum. But also the things that I was putting in my lenses were actually manifesting. I had more energy. I had more motivation than I ever had before. I actually, once I started, I put in my choices, I put in a relationship, and within, I think, 2 months or a few weeks actually of doing my lenses and making that choice of a relationship, the man of my dreams came into my life as well. So the power that lies behind the structure of what I'm going to teach you today is really, really, really powerful. And it's not so much the exact content that I'm going to show you, however, is structured really well. It's actually the structure that sits behind doing the lenses and what it creates for your focus. Because in this work, your focus is your superpower. Where you place your focus is where energy flows. Where your attention goes, energy flows, right? So this is really about cultivating successful habits in the creative structure that will give you the best flow of energy for success, because energy passes through the path of least resistance. So when you're doing your lenses, you're in the creative structure. That's the first step that we need to do to become a conscious creator and actually start using the magic and the tools that we have around us in the universe is structure. And this is how our society has structured. Oh, my thing doesn't like that so much. So this is the problem-solving structure. This is the structure in which most of society operates, and I operated in this right up until I learned it. So we've got our current reality, right? It's our identity of, where you are now. Our current reality is and then we've got our what we're choosing to create. We've got our future, right? Our desired reality. And we're always moving towards where we're wanting to go, right? So we're always moving towards, this is where we are, this is what we want. And when we normally set up this structure, we're saying, well, the future is going to be better. When I have money, it's going to be better. When I have the clients, when I have the love, when I have the ideal weight, when I have the perfect job, life is going to be better. And we say, because the future is going to be better, well, the now must suck. So the now is worse. So this is the polarity, this is the paradigm that we live in. Our future is going to be better. Once I have all the things, the future is going to be better. So now must be really bad. So it must be worse. So when we set up this structure, there's an identity in each of these areas. The identity of now must be, maybe you're broke, or you're sick, or you're alone, or you're overweight. All of these things we always focus on, well, what's now? What am I now? It's going to be better when I've got abundance of money. When I am healthy, I've got health. And when I've got love, I'm going to be so much happier. I'm going to feel loved. And when I'm at the ideal weight. And so what happens here is that we create there's these two identities here, right? There's one identity that says, well, I'm overweight, no one's going to love me, I can't I can't be happy until I lose the weight. Then you've got this other identity here that says, oh, I'm abundant, I've got everything I need, I'm really healthy, I must be happy, I feel loved. And so there's an emotion that comes out of these. The emotion of, feeling broke, I'm sad. And the emotion of being happy. They're two very different things. And so as you go for what you want, as you take the steps and the action, you go on a diet, or you start dating, or you take action in your business, or you work really hard, you move towards your ideal, your better future. And this identity says, oh yeah, you can do that. But as soon as you get a little bit close, or you start making the money, or you start dating, you find someone, or you start losing some weight, this identity says, oh, no. If it was to actually have all of these things, this identity would have to die. And it doesn't want to die. And so what does it do? It sends up negative thoughts and emotions that says, well, you're not good enough to be loved anyway. Like, you've never made that money before, so you're not worth it. And it sends up all these negative emotions that stop you from actually having the thing. And so our focus now comes back over here, and it says, oh, well, there must be something I need to fix. I need to be more confident. I need to be more, I need to lose more weight. I need to do more, mindset work. I need to learn to love myself. So we go here and we fix something. And we take another educational course, or we try another diet, or we do something else in our business and we learn something else, and it feels good. And so your identity says, oh, well, now I feel good. Now I can go for what I want. Now I can have the health. Now I can have the relationship. Now I feel worthy of the relationship. Now I can lose the weight. And so it does that, and it goes, okay, and then you kind of get a little bit of the health, and maybe you go on some really good dates, or you've lost a little bit of weight, or you're doing really good in your business, and you're almost there. You kind of experience it a little bit, and then this identity says, oh, no. There's something else you need to fix, because what you've done is actually created a new identity that says, I can't have what I want unless I fix myself, unless I have the perfect body, unless I feel worthy, unless I'm capable of doing all the things. And so what you've actually done is just created another identity that says, I can't have what I want unless I fix myself. So what you'll find is that you'll experience getting a little bit of success, and then the structure that you're in just brings you back to finding something else that's wrong with you, and that's another problem, right? And this is the reason why society can never truly have what they want. And what you'll experience is this oscillation of almost having it, kind of having it for a little bit, but never actually sustaining it. And you'll find this oscillation, you're oscillating between kind of having it sometimes and then losing it all. And how often do we use the word self-sabotage? What is self-sabotage? It's this identity saying that you can't have that because I don't want to die. Because the emotion that sits behind being broke and sick and never having enough, it wants to maintain itself. It wants to be alive. And so it will do whatever it takes to stay that way, to exist. And so this is an oscillating structure. Now, there's other structures. You can have a stuck structure where you don't actually know where to go. So you've got your current reality, and you've got a desired reality here and here and here and here, and there's so many different kind of ways you can go. You actually feel stuck, overwhelmed, you can't move. Then we can have a flowing structure, a structure that just flows, where you take the action and you move towards where you want to go. Now, the problem with the problem-solving structure is that the focus is always on the problem, right? So in the flowing structure, we want to create where the focus is on the end result. And that's what we're going to create today. We're going to go through and actually create some of your true end results, not secondary intentions that your ego says that you think is your choice, but actually it's just a way in which it feels incomplete. You think you might want something, you want the money or the health or whatever for a different reason, but it's actually just to fulfill, being worthy. I need the money just so I can feel loved, instead of just going for, a relationship that you feel loved in, or choosing to love yourself, regardless of how much money is in your bank. So these are our psychological tension, right? Now, this is a structure. If you can imagine, there's a rubber band between these 2 points. It's like this rubber band, and tension seeks resolution. See this rubber band, it's in a tension. I'm holding the tension, and it seeks to resolve. The structure of reality and the structure of the universe is also like this. In a structure, there's always tension, and tension always seeks to resolve in favor of moving forward, of what you are choosing to create. So what is a creative structure? Notice the ingredients here. Notice the ingredients in creation is the same. There's always your current reality. You've got your desired reality. There's always action to take. And there's an identity. Now, in a flowing structure, the identity, your current reality and your desired reality is not equal because you're yet to manifest it. But the identity, the feeling in the current reality and the desired reality is equal, which means you must be it now. You must be that to which you desire. You must be a vibrational match to what you desire, which is saying that you are already it. You're already your creation. You're just at an earlier version. And you've noticed here that all the ingredients are the same in the flowing structure, in the stuck structure, and in the oscillating structure. It's just like you can get a structure like a rocking chair. It's like a wooden rocking chair, and you put it in a structure of the chair and it rocks, right? It's oscillating. Then you take the same chair and you take it apart and you put it in, you make a fence, and it's a stuck structure. It's the same ingredients. It's still using the same ingredients. It's just in a different structure. You can use the same rocking chair and the same fence and the wood and put wheels on it, and it's in a flowing structure. Notice the ingredients are the same. They're just in a different formula. So this is really important. Structure is really important to grasp and get your head around, because this is how we create. Now, when we're creating, we want to rise above our physical experience. What we do when we create, we get you're in your current reality now. You're, where you are now. The identity rises above. This is when we go into the superconscious field. We rise above our current experience. We rise above our physical manifestation. We take our energy, we rise above, and we get to experience the superconscious field, which is experiencing every possibility of every outcome that could ever exist for your creation. And we take that identity and we take it into the desired reality. So we must feel it now. We must feel the emotion of feeling worthy now. We must feel abundant now. We must feel loved now, capable, significant, connected. We must feel it now in order to get into the creative structure. This is where the recode comes in. We're not going to focus on that today, but getting into the creative structure in a flowing structure is number one. So today we're going to focus on your desired end results. What does that actually mean? How does it feel to already have it? How do I know to feel something I've never experienced before? And this is where the lenses and the practice really comes into play and really helps you to get into the right structure. So I'm going to quickly go through, probably got it up here already. I'm just going to write it up again. The 3 levels of consciousness. You may have seen me go through this before. I know previous clients have, so you'll get to learn it twice. So we've got 3 levels of consciousness. We've got our self-conscious. Our self-conscious lives in this polarity, this duality, this where this reality of light and dark, hot and cold, good and bad, right? So we live in this self-conscious, the thinking brain. These are your thoughts. Oh, I can't spell. Can't spell today. These are your thoughts. is your logical brain, that your thinking brain, the one that says, you know, yes, this is good and that's bad. This is hot and that hurts and this is cold and all of the things. Our self-conscious is our ego mind, and it's there to experience life. Then we go up one and we go into our unconscious. Our unconscious is our automatic pilot. So our unconscious is our emotions. It really defines itself through our emotions. So it's the part of you that just wants to keep you alive, right? It requires you to be balanced in life. It doesn't like extremes. It just likes the balance. It just wants to keep you alive. So it's your automatic pilot. It's easily trained from in the womb to about age 3. That's when your unconscious is learning how the world is and learning your self-worth. And it's also your fight or flight response. So it's really there to keep you safe. It has a really great purpose, and it's to keep you safe, and it's to remember things so that you don't have to keep remembering all the things all the time. So this is your unconscious. Now, when you go for what you want to create, your unconscious will always bring you back to that happy medium. There's this pendulum that swings from here between good and bad. And the unconscious is kind of like the fulcrum of the pendulum. It's that balance point. So your self-conscious is going to experience all the feels and all the things, and your unconscious is always going to bring you back to that happy medium of just enough. You know, it's never going to let you experience something that you've never experienced before, because that's unsafe. It doesn't want you to do that. And so it just does what it's programmed to do, which is usually pretty safe. It also is programmed to know, you know, not what it doesn't want as well, because what it doesn't want is unsafe, it's unknown, and anything unknown that you haven't experienced before is unsafe. So the unconscious will avoid all of those things as well. That's the self-sabotage part that comes up. All right, so now this is all part of our limited human experience. We need these parts of us to actually experience the human existence. But when we take our energy, when we want to use it to create, it's just really slow. It doesn't want to change. So that's when we have to take our energy up. So we take our energy up into the superconscious field. So the superconscious is unlimited info. It's information. So it's unlimited information. The superconscious field is all of the emotions and all of the thoughts that you can imagine. It's everything, because it's this field of information. This is the place that we want to go to when I say to rise above. Take your energy up. Rise above the limited perspective and into the unlimited, into the field of possibilities. If we were to live up here, it would be like going to a restaurant and ordering all the food that ever existed in the whole world. You know, it might be enjoyable for some people, but, you know, generally it's not enjoyable because you can't eat everything all at once, right? So we actually choose to have this human experience, and we become an individual, and we have our preferences, and we like some things, we don't like some things. And that's the beauty of the human experience, is that we become individual. And so this is where the place we go to when we want to rise above, take your identity above,
and choose what you want to create. This is the field we go to when we want to choose what you want to create, right? So that's then we bring that down. Our true choice comes from this field. We bring that down and we change the balance point. We actually change the balance point of your unconscious so that you're able to experience this new experience that you've never physically had before. Because you're bringing it down from the superconscious field, you're actually changing the balance point so you're able to experience something new. And we do that through the heart field. Right? We do that through the heart field. That's your emotions. We feel it. This is the connection between the superconscious and the unconscious is your emotions, is your feeling, is your knowing. So now with that in mind, we're actually going to go through the processes of choosing what you want to create. So go through this. Welcome everyone that's just joined us. Okay, cool. I'm just going to share screen again. So when you make a choice, when you choose something and you put your mind to it and you put everything to it, it's inevitable that you're going to create it because you're this powerful creator. You're super conscious. But there are some mistakes that people do, and this is what I did in my lenses journey. The first mistake is not actually going for what they want. So not going for what you actually want. You're going for a false belief of what you think you want, and the ego says, "Oh, you want, you know, $1 million," but what you really want is just time freedom to enjoy your life. So we're going to go through a true end result today. Putting off the lenses, convincing yourself that you don't know what you want. You don't know, and that's step number one is like choosing what you want. I get a lot of my clients tell me, "Oh, I don't know what that is," because I've never actually asked myself that question before. It's always what I don't want. It's always focused on fixing myself and what I don't want. And everything has to be perfect before I can actually go. It's like everything's got to be the perfect condition, and then I can go for what I want. It's like, instead of just going for what you want in the beginning, we're always trying to fix ourselves before we can actually begin to give ourselves permission to say, "Oh, that, yes, you can have that now." So there's a lot of kind of identities and beliefs that stop us from moving forward. And we're just attaching these limitations to our desired reality. Before we say, "Oh, well, I'm limited, I can't afford that right now. So why would I go for something that I can't afford right now?" The focus is all on the now. The focus is on the current reality, instead of just going for what they want. So when you come from a place of limitation, you're saying, "What would the person I am now do?" You're saying, "What is my current reality? What's my identity now? What would the person I am now do?" Instead, what we want to do is actually change that. What would the person I am becoming do right now? Right? So coming from the perspective that it's already done, from that desired reality, what would that person do? That's the switch. We're coming from a perspective of unlimited possibility, as opposed to the limited perspective of what has already shown up with me now. So we want to be the unlimited creator. Okay, so we're going to go through the lenses process now. So I'm going to bring up the lenses document and we'll go through it together. Lenses, here we are. I am assuming you can all see that. Let me just look. Yep. Awesome. Okay, so the elements of lenses. So the first step in becoming a superconscious creator, let me just stop that. Step number one, there's 5 steps. Step number one is choose an end result. A true end result. We're choosing the desired reality, and we'll go through that. The second element is creating structural tension. So remember, getting into the creative structure. Now, structural tension is probably the one element that there are a lot of modalities are missing in the personal development world. And once you start really understanding how energy works and structure works, then it will start to drop. And it took me a while for structure to really drop for me. So I don't expect you to get it straight away. Just trust me. Now, how do we create structural tension? The recipe for creation. Choose what you want. Step 1, end result. Notice where you are now. That's when you create the structural tension. Now, you just ask yourself, where am I now? What's showing up in my current reality? What's present for me now? Really important step. We're not ignoring the current reality. It's part of the process. When you do that, step number 3 is to get into the emotion of the end result. So when you do that, what's going to come up? All of that resistance is going to come up. You're going to feel, oh, but I'm not worthy of having that end result. It's too big goal. Like I've never had that before. I can't do it. I don't know how to get there. I've never had love, all of those emotions, that psychological tension in that current identity, that comes up. That comes up into the active experience, which is time for another workshop, but is a really important part of the process, right? Stimulating that emotion, getting into the emotion of the end result, creating structural tension, all of these uncomfortable feelings will come up for you. That's okay. Step 4 is the recode. The reason why we do the recode is to actually transform the new identity. So it's allowing all of the old identity to come to the surface. And then what we're literally doing is upgrading the software in alignment with what your new identity wants to believe and feel. So the recode process actually allows us to recode those belief systems and that identity. And it's really, really quick. It's the change process that actually allows you to let go of the old and step into the new in a very gentle way. We're not getting rid of the old. We're actually just informing all parts and aspects that there's a new identity, that this is the direction that we're going now. It's like just updating your GPS into your new direction, instead of having your old address in there, and every turn you make, it continuously tries to take you back to your old home when actually you changed homes now. So it's a different route, but you're always going against what the direction says, because your GPS is set to your old home, right?
So we're literally just putting in your new GPS, your new destination in your GPS, and allowing the nature of reality to restructure the route of where you want to go, right? And when after you do a recode, because we remove those limitations, it's actually easier to take aligned action. Now, that action is really important because we can't just sit here and meditate and do the recodes and expect our whole life to just magically fall into place. We actually still have to take action. And this whole process is the structure of reality. You don't just do it, once a month and expect your whole life to magically fall into place. This is training you how to focus, how to structure your focus, so that when your energy actually flows in the direction of where you want it to go, instead of just not really knowing where you want to go and not kind of having a little bit of an idea of, yeah, this is where I want to go, but not actually solidifying it into the structure. So part of this aligned action and allowing you to follow the 5 steps of creation is this process called the lenses. The lenses process that allows you to structure your focus, which I'm going to go through with you now. This is a bit of an overview of how the lenses are structured. I just want to check in actually. How are we going? I know that was a lot of information. I know some of you have worked with me before, some of you haven't. So I just want to give yourself a breather to let that sink in. How are we going? Give me some thumbs up or, yep, we're going, good. Not your first rodeo. Awesome. Oh, I'll keep going. Are we good to keep going? Do we need a break? Oh, good. Yeah. So let's get stuck into it. Now, the first thing of making choices is building strong foundations. So our orientational choices, which we'll go through today, will actually help you to create really strong foundations, so that just like a house, if you don't have strong foundations, it doesn't matter what plaster you put on, what roof you put on. In a big storm, the whole house is going to come down. In a flood, the house is going to come down. So it's the same with creation. You want to build a strong foundation, and we do that through getting into the creative structure and the 4 core orientational choices, which we're going to go through a process today. And dive deep into those. Really important and so powerful, just as absolute basics. Now, we're going to do a meditation to take you through to your land of plenty. So if you don't quite know what you really want, and you're limiting yourself with what you currently have now, we're going on this journey to find your true choices, which will workshop and go to your land of plenty. And we've got long-term directions, desired realities that actually are, desired realities that take you to your land of plenty. We've got a 30-day milestone. So we always do a review, 30 days and a 7-day. And our morning ritual. So bring this down, and we're going to actually go through the 4 core orientational choices. So we're going to go through a meditation here. I want you to stop sharing. Have your pen and paper handy. And I'm going to take you through the 4 core orientational choices. So the first one
The first one is I choose to live a life I love. I choose to live the life that I love. So this choice is a foundational choice. You know, it really is making that conscious choice of accepting your present and choosing to live and choosing to live your best life right now, regardless of where you're at and what you have, because you're only ever living in the present moment. You're never actually living in the future because it's always going to be your present moment. So when you make the conscious choice, I choose the end result of living the life I love, you're actually acknowledging that now is the best life that you've ever experienced. And it's not living in the future, it's not living in the past, it's actually acknowledging that right now you have everything that you need and you love your life. So what we're going to do now is actually, I just want you to kind of just feel into the present moment now. Feel into the present moment. And I just want you to close your eyes. Take a few breaths. As you breathe in, I just want you to notice the air that passes through your nostrils, down your throat and into your lungs, down into your belly. I just want you to be really present with where you are now. And in your mind, or you can say it aloud, I want you to choose the end result of living the life I love. I want you to get into the emotion of this end result. And see yourself experiencing it. All the things that come up for you when you say this. I just want you to experience what comes up when you choose to live the life that you love. What actually lets you know that this result is true? What are you doing? Who are you with? And I want you to get the information that comes to you and then use your diary and write it down. And then come back into it, get some more information and write that down. So just letting everything go and just do your best. You can make it up if you like. The life that you love. When you choose the end result of living the life that you love, seeing yourself experiencing it. Who's around you? What are you doing? Who are you with? Maybe it's an emotion. What does it feel like? How do you feel when you're living the life that you love? And let something come to you and then write it down. And then come back into the field and get some more information. Just give you a few more moments to get this. I choose to live the life I love. What does that mean to you? Just write down what you can and then we'll move to the next. So the next one is I choose the end result of being the predominant creative force in my life. So consciously choosing to be the predominant creative force in your life is acknowledging that this is a co-creation. You're not the only force in your life, but you're the predominant one. And so when you choose to be the predominant creative force, you're actually bringing the power back to you and acknowledging that this is a co-creation. My job as a creator is to choose what you want to create, and the how is up to the universe, is a direct match. And so choosing the end result of being the predominant creative force in your life, when the power is with you, close your eyes and consciously choose. I choose the end result of being the predominant creative force in my life. What does it feel like for the power to be with you, for you to be making the choices that you want in your life, to know that you get to be the creator? See yourself experiencing this. What lets you know? What do you see? What do you feel? What lets you know that this result is true? And just take a moment to feel into that. I choose to be the predominant creative force in my life. What is it that you do? How are you? What is it like to be this version of yourself? And take a moment to write it down. And so we'll move on to the next one. You can always come back to these. So I choose the end result of health and vitality. Now we choose to be healthy every single day. Even if you feel healthy already, you're still choosing to have that in your future. You're still choosing to create that. So I choose the end result of health and vitality is a core orientational choice, because if you don't have your health, you're dying. And that's not life. So it's part of the experience, but if you're not healthy, then yeah, that is what we choose. So I want you to consciously choose the end result of being healthy and vital. Being healthy and vital in a body that supports you. Feeling healthy and vital. What does it feel like to be in complete health and vitality? And see yourself experiencing this. What lets you know that this is true? Close your eyes and just choose. I choose the end result of health and vitality. How is this for you? How does it feel? See yourself experiencing it and just write down what comes up for you. I choose to be healthy and vital. You can continue that. We'll move on. You can come back to it later. I choose the end result of living my true nature and purpose. Now, my true nature. My true nature refers to the creative spirit that we are. It's your true nature to create. And your purpose is what you choose to create in this life. Whatever you choose to create, that is your purpose. So, how does it feel like when you choose that consciously? And close your eyes and just choose the end result of living my true nature and purpose. Choose to live as a creator and create whatever you choose. Get into the emotion of this end result. See yourself experiencing it. Allow it to be true. When you're living your true nature and purpose, what lets you know that this result is true? What comes up for you? And when you have some information, write it down so that you can go back into the field and get more information. I choose the end result of living my true nature and purpose. Okay. So we'll move on. And I want to take you through the rules of creating before we go into our land of plenty meditation, which will also be a similar process to the four core. So when we're choosing to create, we want to be able to form some kind of picture. We want it to be something that you know is complete, something tangible. It's not a process to get there. It's not like more confidence. And it's a true end result is not something that is more or less than what you have already. It's the actual end result of something. So stating it in the present tense of it already being done. It's not in comparative terms, because the end result, it's already done. So it's not the process to get there. It's not, you're not saying more clients, or more confidence. It's actually, to love and accept myself, or to have global impact, or it's think about if you're using a comparative term or a process, and just be as specific as possible. You can be really specific, but it can't rely on anyone else. So it can't be like, it can't rely on someone else's free will. So you can't say, oh, it has to be in a relationship with this person, because that person has free will and you can't control that. What you can control is where it's coming from within you. So we want to go into screen. We're going to go into your land of plenty. So this is a land where all possibilities exist. So if you would be doing life over again, and you could just manifest, you can start life over and just do it all again. This is that land. Everything that you have ever desired, anything that you've ever wanted to experience, allow yourself to go there and find this land of plenty, where everything is plentiful. It's in abundance. You can have whatever you like. So I want to go into a small meditation to get you there. Now, have your pen and paper still handy. So have your pen and paper in front of you so that you can write things down as they come to you. So it's a gooey meditation. Just taking a few breaths, closing your eyes down. And this meditation is called the Blue Mist to your land of plenty. And I just want you to breathe and just allow yourself to experience the breath, connecting into yourself. Just being present in this moment right now. And as you breathe, I want you to imagine white light energy just flowing through the top of your head and down the soles of your feet, and everywhere in between. As this light energy flows through you, I just want you to imagine now that every piece and particle of you turns into blue mist. And do the best that you can. Just imagine that your physical form now turns into blue mist. And the more you imagine it, the more it gets brighter and brighter. And the more you try to imagine it, you just see yourself as blue mist. And it's like you're traveling along hovering along the ground, and you're blue mist, and you're just traveling along with a little bit of speed. And you just, as more you try to Imagine yourself as blue mist and you're just hovering along the ground. It's picking up speed now. You're going towards this tunnel up ahead. And as you move towards it, you know exactly that's exactly where you need to go. And just imagine yourself as this beautiful blue mist traveling at speed now towards this opening, this tunnel, and you're getting so excited and you're just experiencing what it's like to be blue mist. And it's getting bluer and bluer and faster and faster and faster as you travel towards this tunnel, and you get to the opening of the tunnel and it shoots you like blue mist. You just continue to travel and pick up speed and velocity behind you, and you can see this light at the end of the tunnel, and you just get so excited and you travel faster and faster and faster, and you allow yourself to just experience this blue mist. It's getting deeper and darker and darker, and you just continue to experience, and you're just traveling further into the tunnel, and it's getting darker, and the blue light is lighting the way, and you can see everything in front of you, and you just keep traveling, and then you see this, the end of the tunnel kind of makes a bit of a turn, and all of a sudden you find yourself upright, and you're traveling vertically up, and you're traveling all the way up, and you're so excited to get to the end of the tunnel. You can see the light there, and you keep traveling further and further and further as your blue mist traveling through this beautiful this tunnel that you're just continuing through, and you get closer to this opening. And as you know, this opening, it says your land of plenty, and you know that when you go there, you know what it is. You get so excited that you're going to see everything that you ever desired. You prepare yourself, you're traveling further, and you're just getting so excited to finally see and manifest everything that you've ever wanted is in this land of plenty. And as you travel up, you get further and further, and you get closer to this opening, and you get so excited, and then all of a sudden you're out at the end of the tunnel, and you shoot up into the blue sky, and it's just, and you just float in to this space, and you look around, and you're blue mist, and you're floating down into this magnificent space, this land of plenty, and all of a sudden you find yourself seeing everything materializing in front of you, everything that you ever desired, that you wanted, and you're feeling so good, and you're seeing everything. And you notice as you notice things around you, you can smell it, you can see it, you can feel it, and you know exactly what it is. And as you're in this space, just take a moment to appreciate the space that you're in, everything that you've ever wanted. This is your land of plenty. Just take a moment to breathe it in. Look around you, behind you, above you, below you. Everything that you desire, everything in your heart. You notice where you are. And as you take notice of everything in your land of plenty, everything you wish to create in this lifetime, everything you choose to experience, as you collect this information, just want you to take your pen and write down everything that comes to you. And it might not make sense, and it might just be a symbol or a feeling, but you write it down, and then come back into the land of plenty and get more information. Enjoy this space. Take your pen and write down some more information. What else is in your land of plenty? What else is here that you've always wanted to create? And then now it's just materialized in front of you. And just take a moment to honor what you saw, what you experienced. And go back in if you need to, get some more information, come back down. If you're on the replay, you can pause this video and go back into the field, get some more information, write it down. Maybe there's something that you didn't quite get if you've done this before, new information that's come to you. So you can continue that after the session as well, or continue doing that as many times as you want. It's nice to go into that land. How was that for everyone? Getting some hearts, nice. Any new information? So what we're going to do with that information now is put it into choices. So we want to put it into at least 6 choices that you are 100% committed to creating. So these are end results that can either be material or non-material. All that matters is that you can recognize them as an end result once you've created it. It can be great relationships. It can be to be a loving wife and a mother. What it can't be is, based on someone else in particular. So, it can't be like choosing for my children to be happy. That's actually taking the power away from your children, because they can choose to be happy, to be sad, to be angry. They can choose whatever they like. So what you can do is, where the power comes from you, is actually choose to be a great mother, or choose to be a loving wife or partner. And we want to make a choice, think about, there's these 4 F's: finances, family, fitness, and fulfillment. And I always like to cover at least, they're the kind of the basics. So from your land of plenty and everything that you've just truly desire, I want you to come up with 6 choices that you are just committed to create. 6 that are, they're probably quite long-term. They can be big overarching, they can be, now. But choose an end result that you are committed to creating. Something that you want it to be in the present tense, stating the goal is that you've already have it. I choose to have the perfect job instead of saying I'm going to get the perfect job. We don't want to process, and we don't want the movement there. It's the end result. So we're going to workshop this as well. So has anyone got any questions about their choices? Does anyone want some support here with your any choices? Going through some of your choices? We've all got a good handle on your choices. So they're kind of 6 overarching, big choices that you're committed to creating, right? All right, well, that's good. So we'll move on to the next vote. So the next choices, the next list is about your desired realities. So they're kind of milestones to take you to your big end result. So it could be, your big end result could be to run $1 million company. I choose to have $1 million company. Or I choose to be a 6-figure income earner. Your desired reality could be a stepping stone to get there. It could be, to have a high-performing team. It could be to make my first, make $10,000 a month. It's kind of like it's not the big overarching goal, but it's like 90 day to a year. It's still kind of long-term direction. So it's where your focus wants to, it's kind of like that next step, that next stepping stone towards your big end result. So you want to play with thinking about your big end result, and then what are the kind of sub choices, your secondary choices that would move you towards that, what will get you there. That's the second part of the lenses is and your choices. Now your choices are honestly your life force. You want to visit your choices every single day. So it's good to have these really clear. And once you tick some of these off, you can just replace them with new ones. But your 6 main ones, they probably won't change that much. Okay, so once you've got your, and if you do coaching with me, you will actually spend an entire session really solidifying and getting clarity around your choices, because it sets you up for, it's the one thing that you really need good clarity on, because it can change. They can change a lot, and that's okay. Okay. So then you want to have a look at your 30-day milestones. So have a look at your choices, have a look at your desired realities, and think about the next 30 days. In this column here, so you can just write it in your journals for now. What could I do this month to move me towards my desired reality? The word could. What could I do? There's so much that you can do. There's a lot that you can do. You can do so much. You could quit your job and go to Hawaii for a holiday, right? You could do that, but you're not going to. Hey, well, you might, but there's so many things that we could do. So tune into your end results and list out, get really creative and list out all the things that you could do to move you towards your desired reality. There's a purpose for this. It's to get you into a creative state where you're not
you're not always thinking about your logical brain and saying, oh, well, you know, I'm only going to limit myself to thinking about what's possible for me. What we want to do is get you into that expansive creative state. What could I do? What are all the things I could do? And in the other column, what will I do? Right? So this is where you're actually choosing what you're going to commit to. But skipping straight to this step only uses your logical brain, side of the brain. So you want to use both sides of the brain, because sometimes one, you know, they work together. And it's actually allowing yourself to give yourself permission to think about some other creative stuff that you would really like to do, but you know, you've never allowed yourself to actually give the space to think about that. So in 30 days, what will you do? What are you going to commit to that will take you to your desired reality? So that's the monthly focus. And you do that every month. Now, then we move on to weekly planning. A week, there's like, you can have a really bad day, but you can have, you know, a week is a good measurement, so that, you know, you can have a really good week. And so you can have a couple of bad days in that week, but you can still come out with a good week. So I think a week measurement planning is really powerful to do as well, because you're not limiting yourself to just, you know, one day. So planning a week ahead, bringing that down to, okay, what could I do this week that would move me towards my end result? Going through that process again of what could I do? What are all the things that I could do? And then writing down, okay, what will I commit myself to doing this week? Just this week. Knowing that you can go back, you know, and do another week, but what's just this week that I will do? So weekly planning is a really powerful step. Now, then we come down to our morning ritual, so our daily plan. I always start the morning, you know, hydrating yourself, exercise, you know, looking after yourself, giving your body the right conditions to thrive. So, you know, really look, and you might have this space there, you know, you can write your own things that you do. You might do meditation or well, yoga or whatever it is that you do. You might go surfing in the morning, something like that. Then we get into the creative orientation. So we want to do our get into the creative structure and do a meditation. The wisdom process meditation is available when you do coaching with me. There's a plethora of meditations available there as well. And the daily practice I'm going to go through now with you. So this is your daily practice. What do I choose today? So you've got there the 4 core orientational choices. I choose to live the life I love. I choose to be the predominant creator in my life. I choose health and vitality. I choose to live my true nature and purpose. And then there's space here for 2 other choices that you might want to focus on for that day. And going through these like we did today and asking yourself, you know, getting yourself into the creative structure. What's the end result? What does that feel like? Where am I now? What comes up? And ask yourself, what's my next obvious action? What's obvious? And then you can have, you know, your action steps for today. When you allow yourself and give yourself the space to go into that state, to arise above, go into the creative structure with your choices, you're allowing yourself to connect into your superconscious and get new information. Now, we do this every day. We don't just do this weekly or once a month, because every day is a new day. Every day you've got new information. You've learned something new.
your circumstances, your status quo is different to yesterday. In every moment we're changing. And so there's new information available to us, you know, in the quantum field as well, in the superconscious field. So information comes to us through intuition in multiple different ways. Every day you want to connect into that emotion of the end result. Every time you do that, every time you connect into and you make that choice, I choose the end result, is you're creating a physical neural connection to that choice. You're telling the universe, this is what I'm choosing. You're literally tuning your radio frequency into this radio station that you want to listen to, your choice, right? And everything here is frequency and energy. We all know that. And so each time you tune your frequency into that choice and you connect into your choice and you be it now and you enjoy that moment of being it now and experiencing it and getting information of what needs to happen next, you're literally becoming a magnet to that. You're becoming magnetic towards that. So that's why we do this practice every single day. You can do it for all of your choices if you wish, but there's some level of unrealistic that we have to go to as well. You know, like doing the 4 core are foundational, and then focusing on 2 is reasonable. If you want to focus on more, then you can do that as well. It just depends on, you know, what your commitment is, how much time you've got in the morning. I would say doing this process shouldn't take you longer than 15 minutes. It simply is just creating that space. So there's space here, you know, you want to write down all your actions and anything, any new information that comes to you. And then you've got space for your to-do list, other things. And at the end of the day, reflect on what went well. Notice where your energy was, what went well, what are some of your wins? Celebrate your wins. And where do I feel uncomfortable? What took my energy? Oh. So where was my energy? What took my focus? Did I procrastinate? Why? What was it? You know, what did I, you know, go on a sugar binge and that took all my energy? Or, you know, where did you feel uncomfortable? And reflecting on that. What did I learn? Was there anything that you learned today? It's always powerful to ask yourself these questions. And you can just journal these. And notice, what didn't you get done today that needs to be a priority for tomorrow? What didn't I get done that needs to be a priority? And did I live my ideal average week? Was I living the life that I love? Bring reflection on that. And what am I grateful for? Another great one, another great question. What are you grateful for? You can always be grateful for something that you don't have yet, because when we're grateful, it means we've received the love. And so we're grateful for the love received. And so when we're grateful for something that we have yet to manifested, you're telling the universe that you already have it. And so acknowledging at that superconscious level that you do already have it. So just another very powerful manifesting tool, gratitude on an energetic level. And then, we've got your weekly review. So now this document is massive. Here we go. That went right. So every 7 days, every week, you go back to your weekly review and your weekly planning, and then you ask yourself, okay, well, what could I do this week now in reflection of the past week? What went right? You know, what actions made the biggest difference? What do I need to focus on? And what actions will I take to ensure I keep focusing on my end result? Powerful questions to ask. In the weekly planning. So that's the lenses process. How do we all feel about doing that? Creating some creative structure. Now you can have your own diary when you do this. You can have the working PDF. But what it essentially what it's doing is just, it's creating it's getting you into that creative structure. It's bringing the power back to you, right? You're taking your power back. You're able to keep it simple and just get started. Stay focused on what actually matters. Create clear, concise, measurable steps and actions and a path to get you there. And finding a solution instead of the problem. You know what action to take. Or if you don't, then you can just go into the superconscious field and get the information. It's quietening down the noise that happens around us, and it moves us into returning the power back. So that's the lenses process. Do we have any questions before I go on to the next section, which is wrapping up? I'm just going to, great.